What is up, guys? Wednesday morning, another trading day. Let's get it. So today is an interesting one because there is actually quite a lot of news. So I'm just gonna switch over to TradingView quickly. And actually on TradingView, I have, let me just close that. I also have the forex, which I hope you guys can see. Yes. So here we go. Wednesday. The first. So look at that. There's quite a lot of news today. Most of it's much later, but GBP is going to be affected at 10 a.m. my time, which is in about an hour and a half. So these are things we've got to be aware of. I mean, ideally you trade these, but you are already in a trade. So don't enter a trade like just before news is about to hit, you know. Rather be in a trade, and best case scenario, you've hit your 1-to-1 and you already break even. So whatever happens, it doesn't matter. Worst case scenario, it just becomes a no trade. So yeah, I'll be looking at the GBP pairs. If there's anything that looks good in the next hour, maybe I will trade it. But otherwise, yeah, just be careful. Be careful of the news, guys. I mean, the good thing is, at the moment, the market's fairly flat, you know, being December. So I kind of see news as a good thing, but just trading it at the right time. So let's, yeah, so we are continuing with the, the FTMO trial. We're currently 0.5% up, only about $60 up, I think. But we're still ahead, you know, so that's the whole point, is that we are always moving forward. Yesterday and the day before were not the best in terms of just my time. Even today I've got to run out in a little bit, so I'm hoping I can at least set up a trade in the next hour, but whatever I do, I'll come back and show you guys. Okay, so let's get cracking. See you guys in a bit. Hi guys, welcome back to the end of my day, Wednesday, the 15th of December. So today, not much happened in the morning, to be honest. After I recorded the intro this morning and we looked at the news, nothing really presented itself, so I didn't really want to get into anything if there wasn't anything there, especially with the news. I think it was around 10 o'clock my time, so I kind of just left it. There wasn't really any alerts either coming through from the group, so I just kind of looked at some charts, and I ended up marking up Euro USD and I think GBP USD. If you look here, if I go to the 4-hour, this is, actually it wasn't the 4-hour. It was actually, so we had this 4-hour OB over here, but we were all the way down the bottom here. This is like beginning of the day there. So what I thought is, I knew that price, because it had been ranging so much, I knew price was probably going to come back and push up to this 4-hour and 1-hour OB. So I thought, let me just see if I can find anything down here. And I actually found this 1-hour OB over here. There was a little bit of price below that as well. I did end up finding this area of imbalance over there. So I came to the 5-minute, I think it was over here, when it tapped in, it just tapped perfectly into this imbalance area over here. So I started looking from here, and then we both broke this 5-minute up here, and I actually ended up placing 2 positions. The first one was actually on the 1-minute, because this, so on the 1-minute, the break on the 5, okay, there we go. The break on the 5 was over there, which was actually also a break on the 1. So I took, there was another OB over here, a smaller OB that went all the way to the bottom, and I think I ended up taking quite a big stop on both of them. I think my stop was like, yeah, kind of where this one is. This one was, I think also around about the same place. So the stops were the same, but this one on the 5 minute, let's hope this actually goes quickly. Yeah, that's much better. On the 5 minute OB, which is this one over here, you can see this one, that ended up, I think, yeah, we were tapped into this one first, and then a little while later we were tapped into the second one. But what this meant is when this turned over here, so we did go all the way down, actually came close to both of the stops. Then we pushed up, and this one, because the entry was down here, by the time this one went to kind of break even or zero where the entry was, we were already on about 1-to-1 on the 1 minute OB. So what I ended up doing, there was two ways I could have played this. Either I could have closed that trade completely with the 1R and then keep the other one running. But instead, so why I kept the smaller one was because it would have been easier to hit the 1, 2, 3. I was only targeting 1 to 3 because I knew that, you know, we were getting very, very wicky, and the candles were just looking really messy. We look at the difference from there to there. So this is obviously when the news kind of was affecting market. So I closed that one at, I closed 50% of the order, and then I completely closed the other one, which was pretty much at zero. I think it was like $1 in profit, $1 or $2 in profit. So I closed that one, and then I closed 50% of the 1 minute OB. So we were on risk-free trade with this one, and then as you can see, it came back and pushed quite far down. So, I mean, not surprising with the news today that, you know, I was hoping that we would get the 1-to-1 and would kind of dance around here for a little bit and then kind of just spike up. I was targeting 1 to 3 for that one. So that one didn't end up happening. And then we got an alert on Euro AUD and an alert on AUD CHF. So we ended up taking the trade on the AUD CHF. As you can see, I marked an area of imbalance over there, which was actually, if I go to the 1 hour just to show it a little bit clearer. The imbalance of that one was actually within the 4 hour OB. There was another imbalance over there, but it was kind of pushing up higher with these two candles up here. So I didn't think it was likely that it would push up there, but I was kind of, you know, just watching for it in case. But then we did tap into these very nicely. We tapped into this area of imbalance, and I love it when this happens. It just means that my imbalance marking is correct, you know. Price tapped in perfectly. I marked the 1 minute, but it's not what I traded on. I waited for the 5 minute break here, so you can see I think it was actually a 3 minute. If I go back, yeah, I think it was this one over here. So it was this break over here that I was looking at. But then I went back to the 5 minute, I think, because I didn't, no, it was this whole candle here. So it's this candle here on the 3 minute. So that's what I marked up. I marked up this candle on the 3 minute. I took 50% of that order block. And then as you can see, I put my stop way higher. So the stop would have been about there if I was looking at the top of that wick, which it was pretty much came to, but I gave myself a lot extra. I think I doubled the amount I should have been, or I would have normally done. And that's just over the last, you know, week or so. The amount of times I was stopped out, not by price, but by spread. It's just really annoying. So this is kind of one of the ways I'm now trading, is I'm just giving myself a much bigger stop. And I was initially targeting 1 to 3, which is over there. But because this pushed down so strong, I mean, it was just pushing. I thought, you know what? As soon as we hit the 1-to-1, and I got this to to break even, or risk free, should I say? I thought, you know what? Let me just push for the 4. And you might be asking, why not just go for the 5 then? Well, as the previous trades, in December have showed, pushing for that 5, especially because my stop is a lot bigger. If my stops were smaller, maybe I could have pushed for the 1-5, but because I'm really kind of pushing my stops out there a little bit. So I mean, that was a 6 when my stops are normally about 2.5, 3. So it was like double my stop. So double your stop means the distance. Like if you look at what a 3 would have been here, I mean, I know it would have been stopped out, but just to give you an idea, if I took a 3, that would have been an 8R, and 5R would have been all the way over there. So, I would have got my 5R easily, but I also would have been stopped out. So instead I was going with, I think it was a 6. And then I went for a 4 because 4 was over there. The reason I didn't go for bigger is because I kind of saw this area over here, this whole area over here, as an area of support for price. So I thought, you know what, I don't want to push below that. There was also a 15-minute OB that I was waiting for it to break as well. So I kind of knew it was going to probably bounce around there. So what I thought might happen is it would bounce, it would retrace, and then it might have broken through. But that didn't happen. So it was just as well I took the 1 to 4. So for the day, we had 3 trades. 2 were on the Euro USD, but one was like it didn't count because I closed it at entry. And then the other one was a no trade, and then this was a 1 to 4. So I ended up getting, I think, about 2.5R, and I only risked 0.25 today just because, with the news, I didn't want to risk too much. And I thought even if I had a 0.25 and we ended up pushing really hard with some of the news, that I could just let it run to like 5 or 6 or 7 like we did the other day. But it didn't pan out. But I will take a winning trade, 1 win trade and 1 no trade. So no losses for the day, which that's you can't really ask for much more than that. So that was my trade, guys. Let me quickly show you. Here we go. So this is as you can see, that was my entry, and you can see, let me just zoom in here for you guys. This is AUD CHF. You can see there was my entry. There was my 50% perfectly on the TP1, and there you can see TP4. I think because of spread, it closed a little bit earlier. And I was actually spot on with taking it there and not being too greedy, because I did see this area as an area that I was going to bounce off of, and also I didn't really want to sit too long and wait, especially with news. So then what else did we looked at the Euro AUD. So Euro AUD, I actually marked up this over here. It would never actually have got to that point, and actually even if I had taken the next one, this one just pushed up too fast and it never really came back. It might still come back. So if you look on the 15, we had the break of the 15 there. So I still think price is going to come back. So what I might do tomorrow, if this has not come back yet, is I might look at taking like a 50% there and then taking like 100% on that. My stop will basically be there, and if this stops out, the same as I always trade, this one will be triggered. Maybe we can do that tomorrow, but I'll see. It all depends on all the other markets. So that was the trades for the day, guys. Really happy with the 1 win, no losses. So yeah, pretty good day. I'll take that. It was 2.5R. I know we always aiming for 3R, but you could always take a 2.5 over any loss. So you take what the market's giving. And today it felt fairly straightforward. I marked up, I stuck to my rules. Lesson learned the other day. Traded my rules, and it paid off nicely. So then the Euro USD, you can see it's just really messy, isn't it? When I got my 1-to-1, you can see I closed one on entry pretty much, and the other one stopped me out. So it was actually a little bit above entry, so I think I made like a few dollars on that one. And then the other one got stopped out, which basically took what I won, so it became a no trade. So I took a little bit because there was 2 orders, and this one actually took a little bit. I actually, you can count this as a win, but I'm not going to count that. I count that as a no trade. So yeah, we will see you guys tomorrow, and hopefully we have another day like we do today. Oh, let me just show you. So if we look at, so my balance right now is 10,118. So just shy of 120 profit. We only need to make 380. Yeah, 380 to make in, I think about, actually, let's go back here. Let's just quickly open up. So there was the news. You can see all the news today. And actually, this news has not even happened yet. So let's just go quickly to FTMO. So that was the one we did before, but we would have got the free retake. So pass, free retake, and this is the one we're ongoing. Let's have a look at the metrics. So there we go. We had a kind of rocky start all the way down to 120 under, and we have come back in the last few days, and we're now sitting at 120 above. So that's what, 240 in a couple of days. So not bad at all for the last few days. I mean, a rocky start, but. So let's have a quick look. At the moment, we are looking at a 50% win rate, which is actually not too bad. I think today we basically picked that up from about a 40%. So I think if you looked at this yesterday, I think it was on about a 40%. Our average RR is 1.4. But the thing is, some of those no trades kind of pull that down, but it is what it is. But overall, not too bad, guys. We're kind of on target. We have currently traded 5 days, and we have, let's see, it ends on the 22nd of December. So we still have the rest of this week, and then we have, I think, so the 22nd is next week, Wednesday. So the rest of this week and then 3 days next week. So, I mean, we made 200, did we make? Yeah, about 200 in the last couple of days. So it's definitely doable, guys. And once we hit 200, once we hit the 200 profit mark, I'm going to start trading at $50, so 0.5%. So I think we're definitely on target, guys. So I'm happy with our progress so far, moving along nicely. Tough start, but coming back nicely. So we will see how it goes in the next week or so. But yeah, we will keep you guys updated, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow.